Namaskaram. Today we are going to look at a very important lesson, disappointment. It is the only lesson to understand people, to understand emotions, and to accept change. Now, let's look at it closely. Disappointment is something every human being meets at some point in life. It arrives quietly, often when we least expect it, and sits heavily on the heart. It can come from a broken dream, an unmet expectation, a misunderstood relationship, or even from our own mistakes. Yet, despite its sting, disappointment is not the end of our story. It's only a pause, a moment that invites us to breathe, reflect, and begin again with greater clarity. Life. Life is full of dreams, big dreams, small dreams, dreams we whisper to ourselves in the quiet of the night. And sometimes those dreams crumble, plans fail, promises break, and our hearts feel heavy. That feeling, that quiet ache is what we call it as disappointment. Disappointment is like a single drop of rain hidden in the dust of our shattered dreams. It rolls slowly, silently, and yet it makes us stop. It makes us pause. It is not a wound that bleeds, nor is it fire that burns. It's a tremor, a hesitation, a whisper from life saying, there is more to learn, there is more to grow. At its core, disappointment is born from the difference between what we hope for and what reality gives us. We imagine a perfect outcome, a smooth path, or a certain response from others. When life moves differently, we feel a sudden emptiness. But this gap between expectation and reality is also where learning happens. If we look closely, disappointment is not a punishment, it is a teacher. So, how do we rise from the weight of disappointment? The first step is acceptance. Accept that it has happened. Accept your feelings. Do not hide. Do not pretend. Feel it. Let it flow. Many of us try to hide our feelings or pretend as though nothing has happened. But healing begins with honesty. Tell yourself, yes, I am disappointed, and that's okay. Allowing yourself to feel the emotion makes it easier to release later. Now, step 2, reflection. Ask yourself, why am I disappointed? Was my hope too high? Was I expecting the world to move at my pace? Was I relying too much on someone else? We need to reflect. Reflection turns pain into wisdom. It teaches us about people, situations, and most importantly, ourselves. Step 3 is detachment. A failure, a rejection, or a misunderstanding does not make you less capable or less valuable. Life does not measure you by your setbacks, but by how you respond to them. Every disappointment carries a message. There is more to learn. There is another way to grow. A lost opportunity, a failed plan, a broken promise does not make you less. Life measures not the fall, but the courage to rise again. Now, coming to step 4, have a flexible hope. Be ready for a change. Dream fully, but leave room for the unexpected. Hope without chains. Expect, but do not demand. Sometimes what seems like failure is just a doorway to something better. Disappointment often helps us to balance our expectations. It doesn't mean expecting the worst. Rather, it means staying open to different outcomes. Hopefully, but remain flexible. Life rarely unfolds exactly as we imagine, but sometimes it brings something even better. When you leave a room for uncertainty, you give yourself space to adapt instead of collapse. Coming to step 5, communication. Many disappointments come from misunderstanding. Speak, express your heart, listen. Clear words often prevent unnecessary pain. It builds bridges stronger than before. Many disappointments arise from assumptions, expecting others to understand our needs, fulfill our wishes, or act according to our thoughts. Expressing your feelings honestly can prevent confusion and create healthier relationships. Coming to step 6, action. Do not linger in sadness. Take one small step. Repair, create, learn, begin again. Every step reminds you that life is still in your hands. Take one small step forward. Revise a plan. Learn a new skill. Talk to someone you trust. Or simply begin all over again. Movement dissolves helplessness. Each small effort reminds you that the story is still in your hands. Finally, cultivate gratitude. Even in difficult moments, there is always something to be thankful for: a lesson learned, a new strength, or simply the chance to try again. Gratitude does not erase disappointment, but it softens its edges and brings hope back into view. In the end, disappointment is not an enemy, it's a guide that directs us towards better choices, deeper wisdom, and greater resilience. When we learn to rise after falling, we discover the quiet beauty of being human, imperfect, growing, and always capable of beginning again. It is natural that after a disappointment, the heart that rises shines better, brighter than the heart that never fell. Rise again, always rise again. Carry this message with you throughout the day and have a wonderful day ahead. Until we meet next time, take care. Bye bye.